Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in MMA and UFC news, Dominick Cruz recently spoke with MMA Fighting about his upcoming fight this weekend against Chito Vera, as well as his opinion on why Vera doesn't seem to like him.
I heard you say that you feel like he's always mad.
It looks like that to me, but
he seems like a happy-go-lucky guy, no?
Well, I don't know. Just look at his interviews talking about me. He doesn't seem very happy-go-lucky about me.
He was on this show and he was talking about you. He was very upset. He was very fired up. He thought you didn't want to fight him. And here you are.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into interpretations.
How do you feel about...
That's what this sport does.
What do you mean?
Well, that's what happens. I mean, you gotta remember, it's not clear communication between fighters as it could be. So you've got a matchmaker, you've got managers. Who knows what the matchmaker is saying to the manager, then who knows what the manager is saying to the fighter. Right. Whereas I represent myself, I talk to the matchmaker directly. So it's like, I'm pretty clear. I told you, I want the date, I want somebody ranked above me, and that's it. And if the date doesn't align with the timing of the person, I could see how they might think that I don't want to fight them, but maybe they just want to fight at a different date than I do. Right. So it's okay. I can't blame the guy for thinking that way if that's what he wants to think, but it's not necessarily true either.
In a recent video, Daniel Cormier and Ryan Clark spoke about the fight that's scheduled to happen later this year between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. Here's what DC and RC had to say.
What about your two previous meetings with Israel Adesanya says that your approach is wrong? Right? Everybody else in the UFC watches and studies him and says, you know what? You can't attack him because he's such an electric counter striker. That doesn't pertain to Alex because he's been inside a ring with him. It'll be an octagon this time, and it worked out. So this is going to be exciting. DC, do you see this fight from a strategic standpoint, either of these guys having to change who they are to win?
I gotta say this, you're getting good. You're getting good, RC. Because I seriously, I took the counter-striking approach. I didn't realize him going, maybe I'll go back to sleep. You don't hear Israel Adesanya be that transparent. Yeah. You don't hear that from most champions, being that transparent. That's a good point. Good job, Ryan.
And I think that, look at this guy. And doesn't that, and for you though, DC, after seeing Israel Adesanya kind of get in that place that we saw George St. Pierre for a time, we saw Anderson Silva. Well, they're such these dominant champions, but when they have fights and they're not explosive or they're not knocking people out, you start to get booed or people start to get a little bored with them. What is your level of excitement to see Israel Adesanya in a real fight again, probably like we haven't seen since Kelvin Gastelum?
Exciting. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the prospects of him being in there with someone that can match him at his greatest skill.
What do you guys think about Cormier and Clark's take on the fight? Let us know in the comment section below. In a recent post to Instagram, Uriah Hall announces his retirement from mixed martial arts. He sent out a heartfelt message to his Instagram followers that said, "It is with great sadness that I will be stepping away from the greatest sport in the world. I'm going to miss the incredible UFC staff that has become like family and the mentors I have met along the way. Throughout the years, I've gone up against some of the best in the world at the highest level. Although I did not achieve the rank of world champion, I've acquired some of my greatest achievements from mixed martial arts, and that was facing my fears and being a champion in life. Lastly, I want to specifically thank Dana White for giving me the opportunity to collide with modern-day gladiators. Thank you for always supporting me through the good and the bad. To the next generation, you are the top 1% greatest athletes on the planet. It will be a pleasure to watch where you all take this sport from here. I will be watching." In a recent interview, Terence Mckinney spoke about the possibility of a fight with Paddy Pimblett and how he would put him to sleep. Here's what Mckinney had to say.
What do you think the chances are that you get this fight against Paddy Pimblett?
Not very likely. Probably once we're both ranked, he has to take the baby steps. They seen what I did to Drew, Patty, everything would be down. They're losing money. Then they got to give me the money, which is even better. But they gonna take their time on that. So, but I do got some other names still in mind if that don't go.
Who's that?
I would have loved to fight Jim Miller or Bobby Green.
Why them?
It'd be an honor.
Vets.
As they're legends. And I think that makes for an exciting fight.
Yeah. But the number one choice would be Patty. How do you think that fight would go?
Me putting him to sleep, man, and showing people that scouters can get knocked out. And the fans are gonna go crazy.
Where do you think would be the best place for it?
I want to do it at Madison Square Garden, man.
Crazy.
Let's freaking go.
That would be nuts.
What do you think about a Patty versus McKinney fight? Would it be a fight worthy of Madison Square Garden? Let us know in the comments. In a recent interview, Beau Nicol speaks about earning a developmental deal with the UFC after submitting Zach Borrego in the first round of Dana White's Contender Series. Here's the clip.
Were you surprised by the plan, by getting another Contender Series fight, or is this sort of what you expected?
Oh, I mean, it's what I expected. I'm 2-0 now, early in my career. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to get a UFC contract. I'm here to be UFC champ and the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So that's what's on the horizon for me. And would love to get the contract, and that'll be a step in my career. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be all the way on the top of the mountain.
Anything that you would look to prove in that next fight, or any type of opponent, or even a time frame? How soon could we see you in what week of the Contender Series?
Oh, I mean, I'm ready to go right now. I've had 2 professional fights, 2 amateur fights. I haven't even been hit yet. So I would like to test myself a little more, take another step up, a little better opponent. I don't really see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter though. If you're a guy in the Contender Series or a top 10 guy in the UFC, or I'm fighting you for the belt, I can get you out of there in 60 seconds if I want to. I can take you down and maul you. So it doesn't really matter who's in there. I'm just trying to get better every day. And yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, pound for pound, #1 fighter in the world.
What did you guys think of Beau Nicol's impressive first round victory? And can you see him becoming a star in the UFC? Let us know in the comments. In a recent interview, Paddy Pimblett spoke about Muay Thai fighters and why they don't often end up in the UFC.
Them Thai fighters, lad, that about some of them, they start fighting from the age of 6, 7, 8, and they're fighting every week. They're the bread earner for the family from the age of 9.
That's madness.
You know what I mean? Because the dad's been fighting since he was a kid, all the way up into stadiums, and then he'll have a kid and he'll just train him.
Joe Rogan recently gave his opinion on the upcoming fight between Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev. Joe Rogan was asked, do you think Diaz is going to care about the Khamzat fight? To which Joe replies, I mean, he has to care about it. Khamzat is an assassin. Khamzat is a terrifying human being. He's terrifying. He's really good. He's really good and really big. When he gets into that octagon, he's seek and destroy. He's a dangerous man. Joe was then asked if he believes if this is a setup fight or just a fight for Diaz to get out of his contract, to which he says, Nate asked for that. Nate wanted to fight Francis Ngannou. Nate is as game as a human being has ever been. That dude is wild. I mean, that's one of the things that Dana White said, that they were saying, like, why did you do this fight? That's the fight Nate wanted. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like what we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.